So, you clicked on this video because you want some information before heading to Rome. Well, look no further because you have made it to the video. So, let's start off with when is the best time to go to Rome. One of the best times to go to Rome is between the months of April and June, or September and November. When I went to Rome, I went in November, and usually that's the shoulder season, the rainy season, when a lot of tourists don't go. But honestly, I had an incredible time there. It was not raining as much as I was thinking it would, because I kept checking the weather every single day, and it was not bad. Out of the four days that I stayed there, it only rained once, and it was light drizzles and like about 5-minute, 10-minute heavy rain. That was it. Up next, we have what to pack to go to Rome. So what I packed when I went was during the month of November, and I just packed shorts, long pants, and a t-shirt and a rain jacket that kept me warm. So it was very simple, not crazy hectic. You know, I'd rather, when I travel, just blend in with the people. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy or out of the ordinary. Pack accordingly to when you go to Rome. For example, if you go to Rome during summer, make sure to bring sunscreen, a hat, sunglasses, etc. If you decide to go during the months of November, October, when it's rainy, then I highly recommend you wear a raincoat and stuff that you just need for that environment. Cash or card? I recommend both, because there was a situation that I ran into where I went to a restaurant, I paid with my credit card and it didn't go through. We tried 2 more times and it didn't go through, and it was because their system was not working. So I got up and I had to go to an ATM, which was about 2 blocks. It wasn't far, so lucky me, but I was able to withdraw money and pay them. So I highly recommend that you carry some emergency cash with you at all times. If you plan on getting cash, I recommend that you actually go to a bank ATM, not those random ATMs that are like in small shops or stores like that, because those usually tend to have the highest fees. I also don't recommend that you go to those booths that exchange money and things like that. So the best option that I recommend, it all depends on what you choose, but I recommend the bank ATMs. Let's talk about planning in advance. So you're watching this video because you're doing the right thing and you're planning in advance. So what I mean by that is make sure that you know where you want to go, things that you want to see, and what you want to try out, because you don't want to get there and all of a sudden you're just like, oh, what should I do? So you watching this video is a good first step. So I highly recommend you check out the Colosseum, the Vatican, the Roman Forum, the Trevi Fountain. It's all beautiful. Anywhere you go in Italy, you're just gonna be immersed in that culture, and it's truly amazing. I wish you the best. One big thing to watch out for that I fell for, but luckily it didn't go south, was scammers. So there will be certain people that are out in the street selling little bracelets and or little rings, necklaces, and they'll be like, oh, where are you from? What's your name? Like, hey, first time visiting here. Hey, let's be friends. Like, here, try this bracelet on, and they'll give it to you for free. They'll say, oh, it's free. And like, I try to say no thank you, no thank you, no thank you, but they will try to like put it on you by force. So I fell for it 1 time out of the 6 times that they tried, because I just kept saying no thank you, no thank you, no thank you, and I walked away. But they put on the bracelet and then they were like, oh, it's free. Okay, I was like, okay, because I thought that they actually meant it. But we started walking and he stopped us and was like, money, right? And I was like, I had no money. I had no cash because I was only carrying card, which you should not do. Just carry cash, you know, because of emergencies. But for this example, I'm glad I didn't have cash. So just stay away from them, because they'll ask you and then they'll just take it back. One of the greatest ways to get through Rome is train or bus. Okay, so quick tip that if you want to get a one-way pass that's only valid for 100 minutes through bus, train, whatever, you want to pick this one, the 150. So you have different languages. You can pick the 150 one, and that would be valid for 100 minutes. So just make sure you validate the ticket when you get on the bus and or train. The tickets range at €1 with 50 cents, and it's honestly very affordable, very cheap. Literally, I spent about 15 euros while I was there for 4 days because it was just seamless. It was very cheap, and the transportation there to be able to see where you want to go, how you want to get there is just very easy to read and understand. And another thing that helps you is Google Maps. Google Maps was working there, so I would put where I was going and from where I was going, and it just literally told me what train to get to and where to stop. I love Italy for its budget transportation, but one thing that you should know is to make sure that you go at least an hour to 2 hours beforehand and plan your trips right, because there was a point where I wanted to visit the Trevi Fountain, and the crazy thing is that I was checking the schedule and it said past 2 minutes ago, and I was like, no, it didn't. It's probably running a little late. I'll wait. I waited. 10 minutes passed, 11, 12, and it said that the other bus just passed. And I was like, no, it didn't. And I was like, this is crazy. So I started walking to the next bus stop. The second stop, the bus passed. Can you believe that? When I started walking. So I went back to the first stop and I was like, why not? And then after about 35-40 minutes, the bus finally made it and I got on. 45 minutes, so it's ridiculous. Sometimes the bus will be there on time, sometimes it won't, sometimes it just won't show up when it's supposed to show up. So make sure to get around the right way, to plan in advance, to go an hour, 2 hours before. But most of the time I just got around through train, because the train will actually be there, because most of the time a lot of people use the metro system, the train, and that's just mostly how I got around. Another thing is to validate your ticket, because once you get your ticket, if you get on the bus, there's going to be a machine by the entrance. You want to put it in there and scan it, and then it'll return to you with a date and stuff like that. Because if you don't validate your ticket, you could end up getting a fine if you don't pay it up front. So it could later end up costing about 200 to 300 euros, which is crazy. So just make sure to validate your ticket. I highly recommend that you carry one of these. This is like a little bag. I'm not sure what the actual name is for this, but a little bag that goes around your chest, or a fanny pack. That way you can keep all your secured goods in the little bag, because you don't want to have money, loose change in your pockets, a phone that somebody could just go in and pickpocket. So this is gonna be your best friend while you travel. Let's talk about accommodation. So accommodation can range from various prices. If you're gonna be within the city, it's gonna cost a good amount of money to stay there. But if you go outside of the city, past the river, it's gonna be at a really good price, affordable. I ended up staying in a hostel, which was around 10 to 15 minutes from the center. I paid around 35 to 40 euros per night for 2 people, and it was just very cheap. So if you decide to go there and you're solo travel, hostels are your way to go. If you're going with family and you're on a budget, then I recommend outside of the city center. But if you don't mind spending the little bit of extra money and you want to have a really nice hotel that's close by everything else, the center is your place to go. So to one of the most important topics in this video, where to eat. Okay, so eating in Italy is honestly just, everything is really amazing. But in Rome, if you really want that traditional, really amazing cuisine, you want to authenticize your taste buds, I recommend going away from the city center. I know it's going to be a trip, but I highly recommend it, because most of the locals actually spend time over there. There's beautiful places, there's really cheap food if you're on a budget, but other than that, all the authentic and all the amazing non-tourist trap places are gonna be outside of the city center past the river. Finally, just have fun. Explore, do what you need to do, have fun, taste the culture, learn from the culture, learn its history. It's just amazing. I enjoyed Rome, and honestly, I will go again because I threw that coin in the Trivian Fountain, so it's destiny. But seriously though, I hope this video helped. Enjoy your trip to Rome. You're gonna love it. Just stick to those things that I mentioned. If you don't decide to do something that I mentioned, well, everyone has their own experiences and you can make the best out of it regardless of what I have to say. So enjoy your trip to Rome. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you like more travel content like this and want to keep watching, subscribe, and I will see you guys again when we unveil our next destination.